I got another Beats Studio Pro review here. Now this is probably my third or fourth video on these already, but at this point I've had these for almost 10 months now, heading close to a year already. So I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of an update and my thoughts on these headphones. Now these were my daily pair of headphones, and these are also what I brought with me for traveling. Now I already did a full comprehensive review on these where I went over the features and the sound quality and stuff. So this is mainly going to be just talking about my experience with these as daily headphones and also as traveling headphones, all right? So first of all, just going over the current physical condition of the headphones. There are no cracks on my headphones yet. Now that is a good thing to see. These headphones are not made of cardboard. They're not going to break when you touch them. But historically, the Beats Studio in this design has developed a bunch of cracks over the years with many customers. Key noticeable areas are the headband right here. This thing can sometimes go snap. Also, these hinges tend to snap because these hinges are just metal sliders screwed onto the plastic housing of the headband, and metal screwing onto the thin plastic is not going to create a very strong point for a hinge, all right? And so that's a common breaking area. And lastly, a common breaking area is below the hinge. So this part right here, a lot of customers have had this part cracking from expanding the headphones like that. So that's kind of just the way things are with these headphones. They are still a little bit stiff, and they are, still plasticky since they are made of thin plastic, and they still creak, but they are more durable than I thought they would be, and I currently don't see them breaking anytime soon with the normal use that I currently give them. Still, I got that Apple Care warranty just in case until the year 2026, just as an extra safety measure. But so far, I mean, no problems in terms of build quality with my pair of headphones. Now, the way these headphones are designed is not the best in terms of function. And I mean, Beats prioritized sleek design over function. The more you extend the headphones and expand the headphones, you're more likely going to snap it. So if you're wearing, if you're someone who wears like a beanie, or you wear a hat or something like that, and you constantly wear headphones over your hat, it kind of creates this wedge on that plastic. And that's why when you have it fully extended like this and you are opening up the headphones, this metal right here is not that flexible pressed against this thin plastic, and that's what causes it to snap. So I tend to not extend it that far out. The more you don't extend it, the better, since it's going to have more support. But I mean, only time will tell if this plastic gets more brittle over time. Now, because they prioritized that sleek design so much, I mean, you do get very nice looking headphones, of course. In my opinion, these are still probably one of the best looking headphones on the market. And it's basically been that same way since the original Beats Studio 2, because this has that same exact design, which were released way back then in like 2013 or something. So, I mean, that says something. The design of these headphones are definitely iconic. Now, moving on to the comfort, I've developed kind of a tolerance to wear it for long periods of time. It didn't start out like that, especially when I originally had my Bose Quiet Comforts. When I had the QCs, obviously those were one of the most comfortable headphones on the market. When I switched to the Studios, it took some adjusting, but the adjustment period was pretty short. Now, the Bose, being that they are known for being comfortable, those were super comfortable. And the ear pads sit completely around the ear, and the ear cup depth was very deep, so they don't physically touch your ear. Now, the Studio Pros, they aren't that comfortable because This is kind of like a hybrid between on-ear and over-the-ear. These things kind of sit on my ears half of the time, and these ear cups aren't that deep at all. So this kind of plush over the drivers actually physically touches my ear sometimes. So you do feel this pressing on your ears. So at first, these can feel a little bit tight and uncomfortable, especially if you're coming from a very big pair of headphones with huge ear cups. But over time, I think you can adjust to that and it won't be all that uncomfortable long term. The top of the headband also occasionally causes some pain still, even after a few hours of wear. But if you kind of switch around the position on your head, the top of your head, it kind of goes away. And I've worn it for many, many hours on flights. Like my flight to Japan, I could wear it through 8 to 10 hours of straight usage without any kind of issues. Now I do have long hair, so maybe that kind of cushions it a little bit, but I think you shouldn't have any issues in terms of comfort. Now speaking of flights, you of course want that active noise cancellation, and I found that these were pretty decent overall on the flight, canceling out most of that background humming noise from the plane. Now the ANC on these, in my opinion, were never the best. They aren't as strong as the AirPods Max or the Bose Quiet Comforts in my experience. Maybe like 80 to 90% of the strength in relation to those other headphones, but it still did the job in my opinion. If there's a lot of chatter going on in the background, I could still hear those if my music wasn't playing too loud. The ANC on these headphones do a better job of canceling out background hums and constant sounds rather than dynamic sounds like voices. Now I will say that when I wear the Bose QCs, their ANC was really strong. That when I put them on my ears, it kind of feels instantly that you're being sucked into some kind of vacuum. Now some people kind of have some kind of cabin pressure with the Bose QCs. I never had any kind of cabin pressure issue from the ANC with the Bose Quiet Comforts, but compared to the Studio Pros, these don't really have any kind of pressure feeling from the ANC. It feels more natural, maybe because the ANC isn't as strong or aggressive. So I think maybe if people have some kind of uncomfortable sensitivity to ANC with the Bose, like my brother for example, then maybe you might enjoy these a little bit more or find these more comfortable. Now battery life has also been good over the past 10 months. It's basically stayed the same, the usual 24 hours of battery life with the ANC on. Plenty enough for traveling, long flights, or even for long car rides, riding on the train, stuff like that. Now when you're taking these out traveling, constantly taking these in and out of your bag for train rides, flights, it was super convenient actually. All I did was I just fold these up like that. I have the case here, and then I just stuff it into the case like that and zip it up. I've gotten very used to it. Now the case did a good job of protecting the headphones, I feel, and better than I expected, even being for a soft kind of case. Now I would have still preferred the old hard shell case that came with the Studio 2s or the 3s, since that offers more physical impact protection. But these also did an adequate job of protecting my headphones. I didn't really put much care to it when I was traveling. I would just stick the headphones in here, kind of like what I'm doing right now, and I would just throw them in my bag, along with other stuff like my laptop and my camera and stuff like that. So no damage taken to these headphones though, so this bag does the job. Now my problem still is that this bag, I would have wished if this thing could at least unzip a little wider, because you can see it doesn't unzip all that wide. So sometimes you kind of have to like yank them out of there since the opening is kind of small. Now over the time with these headphones, I would also like to mention that I love the controls on these, since they actually use very simple physical buttons. Here are the physical buttons on that left ear cup. Obviously, volume up, press up, volume down, press down. This is the play and pause button in the middle. Very simple, and I just love physical buttons. I'm not a fan of a lot of headphones nowadays that use touch controls. I like physical buttons that are easy to use, that are huge and easy to press. I like that, keeping it simple. Also, transparency mode on these headphones are great too. You double tap the power button on the right ear cup. I don't like overcomplicated advanced controls and high-tech touch control shenanigans. I like these the way they are. Now that's about it really. These headphones have held up really well over the past 10 months, and they still look and feel practically brand new. You can see there. The ear pads haven't ripped or deteriorated at all over time, so that's great to see. Now, I don't really need to do another full comprehensive sound review here, since I've gone over the sound in my other few videos, but I basically still feel the same way I do right now of the sound that I did back then. It's tuned overall pretty flat, surprisingly. Bass is very tame, but the treble is just sometimes harsh. Yeah, that's how I would describe it. It's an overall flat and balanced tuning with an emphasis in the highs that I honestly wish it didn't have, so it wasn't as harsh. If they tuned back the aggressive highs a little bit, I think I would enjoy these a lot more. Also, there are still no real updates to the Beats app on my phone. I was hoping over time that eventually they would kind of include some kind of built-in equalizer for the app, specifically for these headphones, or your other Beats headphones like the Solo 4s and whatnot. But they haven't given that to us yet. So Beats/Apple, if you're watching, add that feature to the Beats app. I want to be able to adjust the EQ specifically for my Beats headphones through the app without having to adjust the EQ on my phone, since I use other headphones and IEMs with my phone as well. So yeah, that's basically my 10-month review/revisit to these headphones. I still really like these a lot, and they might not be as advanced as some of the other headphones out there on the market, but at the same time, that's kind of what I like about them. They are also regularly cheaper than the other headphones, like your Boses and Sonys, sometimes even being half the price. I bought these back then on sale, I think for around $170 to $180, and I have zero regrets. I have the same stands on them now as I did back then though. Just don't pay retail for these because it's not worth it. Anything below $200 I think is okay, but even currently at the $250 price point, I think for me, it's kind of pushing it. And maybe I'd wait for a sale if you can. Maybe everything now is more expensive because of the inflation and tariffs and all that, so we will see. But that's my 10-month review for y'all. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.